What's up guys, Branden here with SuperATV, and today we're going to show you how to install SuperATV's lighted fang lights on this Can-Am Maverick X3. So let's get right to it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the following hardware. We're going to have a T30 Torx here with a 10mm nut on the backside. Down here we're going to have a T30 Torx. We're going to remove our hood and then repeat the same steps for the hardware on the opposite side as well. Now we're going to remove this T30 here, as well as this one here. We'll remove these two push pins. Then we're going to go to this edge of the fender right here. We'll have a T30. We'll have a T30 right here on this outer, and then a T30 right here on the inner mount. Next, we're going to remove our headlight hardware. You're going to have an 8mm screw. It's going to be directly to the left side of the adjuster for the headlight. We'll just slide in right here next to our adjuster. Remove our screw, and then while we're in here, we'll go ahead and unplug our headlights. And then also we'll unplug our factory accent light. Unclip the wiring, the headlight plug and an accent light plug. You'll just want to remove those and then just let them kind of hang down. And we'll go to the opposite side and repeat the same exact steps. Then on this side, you're going to have your headlight plugs, and then you're also going to have a fan plug. You want to disconnect it. And then let all of this harness hang down. So you'll have your headlight, your accent light, and then you'll also have your fan plug. So once you have everything disconnected, what you're gonna do is grab a hold of your front fascia, lift up like this, remove it from the machine. All right, so now that we have our fascia removed from our machine, what we're gonna do is grab an 8mm socket and a T30 Torx with an extension. We're gonna go through and start removing some hardware. So if you look out here on the outer edge, you can see that we're going to have an 8mm screw. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Just lay it right here for the time being. We slide up through here, another 8mm screw. Remove that, set it out of the way. And we're going to swap over to our T30 Torx. Right down into this pocket here, and another T30. And we'll have a T30 right up here on the top. It's exposed. Remove those. And we're going to have a clip right here. Now, a lot of times these clips, you can just grab them, kind of pull on them, they'll pop up. If not, what you do, slide a flathead on through here. Just kind of pry up on it a little bit. It can be a little bit of a pain to remove. There's that clip right there. So now this piece can be removed. We'll just set it aside. We're going to swap back to our 8mm socket. We're going to have one more screw here securing our fang, our factory fang. And move it. Our factory fang will just pop right out. We're gonna grab our new RGB fang. We'll just slide it right up into position. I like to line this outermost screw hole up here first, because this fascia, it's going to flex around, it's going to move as you install the fang light to it. So I like to just kind of get everything started before I do anything, as far as putting it back together, fully tightening anything, I should say. Okay, so once you have this one in, this one needs to be tightened up before you do anything else. Just make sure that the positioning and everything like that is correct, which ours is. So we'll go ahead, grab our bracket here. Start getting everything realigned. Get this T30 started up here in the top. Snug that up. Get this hole lined up right here, which is going to go directly into the fang. Swap back to the 8. Back to the T30 for this last fastener. Goes right through this pocket here. Make sure that's all lined up. Snug that. We'll grab our clip. Go ahead and pop this clip back on, just like so. Now all you're gonna do is repeat the same steps for the opposite side fang light, and then it's time to reinstall the fascia on the machine. Now we're gonna reinstall our front fascia. All we're doing is just lining all of our tabs back up. There we go. Alright, so now we're back on the front of the machine. We have our harness for the fang lights. What we're going to be looking for is the 2-wire plug that was plugged into our factory accent light here. We're just going to go ahead and plug that directly into our harness. And then on the harness you can see you have a left and a right. And then you also have a green and a yellow wire. So if you had a turn signal kit hooked up, you could wire directly into the fang lights for the turn signal kit. So the green wire will be the right side indicator, and the yellow will be the left side indicator. So the best thing you can do is go ahead and plug your headlight back in. You can grab your fan plug, plug it back in, and then kind of get it clipped back onto where it was when you removed it. So it's kind of clipped back where it needs to go. So I'm going to unplug this again and kind of route it over the top now that I see how my factory wiring is ran. I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to grab my left side, because we are on the driver's side currently. Take our twist ties off. I'm going to go ahead and route this to this connector here, which is what is coming off the back side of our fang light. We'll line up the connector how it's supposed to be. Slide it together, twist the nut, get that good and tight, untwist the right side harness, and then I'm going to feed my controller toward the center of the machine. Get that into the center, grab this side harness, run this over to the passenger side. Just gonna take all of our wiring and everything and just kind of move it up towards the center like I said. Plug it in just like this. And while we're over here, we'll go ahead and plug back in our headlight. extra lead here, that would go to our accent light. What I like to do is just route it right back down how it was, and then just clip it back onto that factory location. And just kind of tuck the connector up out of the way. So now, all we need to do is tie up the wiring, get it cleaned up the best that we can. I recommend taking some zip ties, kind of bundling some wire up and trying to run it back towards the firewall of the machine, and then kind of laying it in with the factory harness. You could throw some loom on it, that way the wires aren't exposed, however you see best. But now we're gonna go ahead and do a little test on these. We're just gonna turn the key on. So once you turn your key on, you can grab your remote. There's all kinds of different modes that you can set this on, all kinds of different functions. There's solid colors. You can change the brightness, so you can turn them down if you'd like, where they're pretty dim, all the way up to where they are very bright. They are fully RGB, so there's all kinds of color options here. Again, tons of modes. You can adjust the speed. So see here, we turn the speed down on this one. It's a little bit different look to it. Endless options here, and like I said, you can tie it in to your turn signal kit, so that way it'll illuminate whenever the turn signal is flashing, whichever way that you have it set. At this point, all you're gonna need to do is go through, tie up all your wiring, like I said, get it all cleaned up the best that you can, and every machine's gonna be different. You know, if you have a bunch of accessories wired on your machine, you may tuck wires in differently than I would on a machine that we don't have a ton of accessories on wiring wise. Go back through, reinstall your hardware, make sure everything's fitting correctly. Once you've done that, that's all there is to it. So once you've got your fascia reinstalled and all your hardware is fully tightened, that's all there is to it to install SuperATV's RGB accent lights on this Can-Am Maverick X3. Be sure to check the description below to pick yours up today, and while you're there, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.